Welcome back to Downhill Smooth Tarmac. In this episode I want to talk about 90s bikes. Why aren't they getting the love and the respect that they deserve? In particular, we're going to work on this one, the Cannondale R600, pure American aluminium. And boy have I got a bespoke build planned for this bad boy. This was never in white. They didn't do one in white. It's been refinished. It's mid-90s, I'd reckon. So I'm going to go for that weird era where it was acceptable to have a bit of oversized aluminium but have down tube shifters. So we're doing that. 7-speed Shimano RSX RX mix. Bespoke wheels I've just finished building. We're going with some new old stock. Bronze rims with stainless steel spokes. Gonna look beautiful. Oh, and it would be remiss of me before the credits not to mention that this is one of those Cannondale frames with those cantilevered stays. That's right, it's what was commonly known in the 90s as a crack and fail. I don't care, I love old Cannondales, they're awesome. It's gonna look badass, it's not gonna get used and abused, it's gonna get ridden by my slightly lighter frame because I'm not so tubby. Now we can roll the credits. Let's build this crack and fail Cannondale. Kick off by fitting these beautiful Cinelli 42cm bars and stem. These lived on my Mercian Triathlon for a very long time, and they are quality, comfy bar. This actually had a quill stem adapter in it when I bought it, which was seized, so I am keen to make sure that we put liberal application of multi-purpose grease in here to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Headset's already been rebuilt on this, so I'm quite happy just to pop the stem into place and tighten it up. Just gently for now. Next up, let's put a bottom bracket in it. So the threads have already been cleaned, so all I'm going to do is put some multi-purpose grease in these threads just to keep it nice and protected from the elements. Just using a syringe full of multi-purpose grease. I'm going to fit the bottom bracket, which is a Shimano one that's just come out of the same bike that the group set's coming off. It's in good condition, it's barely been used to be honest. I'm going to thread these in by hand first. I'm just going to go against them just slightly, just to get the threads to begin. Wow, those threads are tight. Going to add the cranks. Got some Shimano RX100s, 5239, I think they are. No, 5342. So I'll have to bring out the big legs. I'm going to pop those on, get some bolts for them. I always feel like when you fit a 5342, you're stating your intention for the bicycle. Right, let's get an Allen key. Let's try that. There we go. Lovely. Next up, I'm going to fit brakes, starting with Shimano RSX on the rear. Not a group set you hear a lot about. I'm just going to centre it gently, roughly for now, do the front one. Front. So now we have a really interesting part, which is the down tube shifter bosses. Check this out. So because it's aluminium, it hasn't got a braze on mount, it's got two halves with a bolt through it, which is quite cool. Ingenious, but simple. So we're going to put that in place now. Simply threads through. Bolt that screws onto you. This is so fiddly when you're trying to film it. There we go. bolt then tightens up. Seems to just hold it in place. That's not tight enough yet. One more. And one more. One more. That's about right, actually. I think somebody's mullered this in the past, so that must be right. Okay. Put the down tube shifter on and into place. There you have it. Shimano 7-speed shifters in place. I'm going to tighten this other side there. So you should have friction on this side for the front and index 7-speed on that side. Oh, that's a little bit wobbly bobbly. We're going to go back and we're going to tighten that just a little bit more. Okay. So next thing we need to put in place is the rear derailleur. This was going to be a Dura-Race, now it's not because the Dura-Race one turned out isn't in good order. So we're going to match up Shimano RSX with the RSX brakes, and I've got a Dura-Race seat post, that's something I guess. So let's put this in place and then we're going to talk wheels. So, wheels. It's those bronze rims again. You might have seen these on my single speed build that I did with the gravel bike. I've gone for them again. I think they're going to work really well with this bike. So I've built up some old Maillard hubs with these new old stock bronze rims, 36 hole, stainless steel spokes. Everything's been rebuilt. I've rebuilt the hubs, cup and cone, fresh bearings. These are going to look really, really nice. I think they're going to really suit the colour. We'll get the back one. Got a 7-speed screw-on block, which is a lovely old Maillard. That's cleaned up really nicely. It's a 1223, I think, so kind of states the intentions and the era of this bike. And I think these are going to set this off really, really well. Again, you know the rules, it's not your bike, it's mine. I think they're going to really set this off, give it a really nice look. I've had to rebuild the axle on this as well because the axle was for a smaller dropout, so I put a brand new axle, brand new bearings, cleaned out the cups and the cones, and we've got a lovely free spinning wheel. I'm going to talk a moment about the tyres. I'm going to put those up to the camera. These are 120 TPI Arison Allure. I know nothing about these other than I got them from Dave. I needed some tyres just to get me through this build. He's tried these. He said they're pretty good for what they are, so I thought, you know what? I'll give them a go as well. They look all right. They've gone on quite nicely. They're 120 TPI. Apparently they're designed by USA. I mean, I don't know whether that means, well, designed in USA, maybe. Anyway, they're rotational. What more can you ask for? Let's put the front one in. Now, to be honest, you know, you can mock about different brands of tyres you've never heard of and all that sort of thing, but these do feel like the rubber is pretty sticky. So, as you know, I like to champion bargain cycling. Could these be an absolute revelation? Well, if they are, Dave's shop might be quite busy because I do believe he's got some pairs of these left. So there we go, they're in place. I think they look, what's classed as a budget tyre, they look nice. They look really good. And I reckon the bronze looks spanking. Let's cut to the whole bike and see what you guys think of that. So there it is. First glimpse of this thing taking shape. And I think the bronze rims were a good call. This thing looks so cool. The next step, just put a chain on it and make the gears work. So, brand new chain and a quick link. And what I'm going to aim to do is, I've actually got future plans for this build. And if I'm being honest, I've actually got another set of these bronze wheels in the build at the moment with a free hub to allow me a little bit better range on the back. So I'm going to make the chain just a touch longer. so that when that bigger ratio goes on, it'll be absolutely fine. Let's see where we are. Put that quick link in place. There we go. One more link. Perfection. Let's give that a quick spin. Oh, yes, lovely. And before we go putting cables in, we do need to check the limits on the derailleur at the back, and ideally on the front if we can manage it, although that can wait. So I'm going to adjust these limits and sort out the back, and then we'll move to the front. So first thing I need to do is spin it up and see if it drops off, which it does. So we're going to adjust how far this moves using the 2 screws at the back, and it's the lowermost one that I need to bring in because that adjusts the lower limit. This is the lower limit, upper limit. I'm just going to get it so it goes in the top gear like that. It doesn't go over the edge. There we go. While I'm here, I can see that this is going to need adjusting at the front as well, because it's catching. There we go. That's the inner limit done at the same time. And let that drop down. Let's get some gear cables. Now for the real beauty of these bikes with down tube shifters, no messing about. Feed the cable through, pull it and let it drop for now. Then we're going to feed it down to the back, and the same for the left hand shifter. Feed it through. You'll find it a touch easier because you won't have a camera in the way. When it comes to gears on these old bikes, there's only going to be one piece of gear outer that we need, and that is from the derailleur at the back to the frame, which I have a piece I prepared earlier. Feed that through into Cannondale. There we go. Then going to feed the new gear cable through the outer and into the derailleur at the back. Come on now. It's a little bit stiff. There we go. Pull it tight through the guide and then tighten it up with an Allen key, like so. And the indexing process is actually going to be exactly the same as any other Shimano shifter. You can use the barrel adjuster on the back of the derailleur to tweak it up and down. This one here. Start by turning the cranks and click it once. Oh, it's gone too far. We never normally have that. Let's see where we are with this. I'm just going to tweak the cables around just to make sure. It looks like we've got a little bit too much lift. So sometimes with these old derailleurs, you've got to make sure that they're in the right starting position. So I'm going to undo this cable now. And I'm going to let it drop back down. I'm also going to take a bit of barrel adjustment back out. So I've got a bit to work with either way now. And let's see if that makes a difference. Because this is overshifting wildly on the first shift, so that's no good. Right, that's in place. Let's try it from this position. One click. There we go, the overshifting is dramatically reduced now. Drop it back down one. There it is. Up, up. And another. Right. just take it down a bit till it quietens down. And there we go. Well, the front, I've checked my derailleur is straight, it looks like it is. So I'm now going to take the cable and thread it up through the guide under the bottom bracket. And up to that derailleur up front there. There she is. Right, pull it through nice and tight and tighten it up with an Allen key, as we did with the back one. Now we've adjusted the lower limit, we know that's okay. We just need to do the top end to make sure it doesn't drop off and smack you in the leg. Tighten this cable up first. And with this front one, I'm just going to put the cable in. I'm going to spin it. And there you go. So it will overshift just a bit there. So we know we've got to make some adjustments. This obviously isn't indexed on the front. So we're going to adjust this one. Just to tighten that limit up. That's really loose on there. So what I need to also do now is what I'm aiming to get is when this is on its smallest cog at the back, I want this to be able to clear. I want the front derailleur to be able to come out enough that it doesn't catch. It's catching at the moment, so I'm going to take about half a turn unscrewed to see if we can get it to clear. Still catching ever so slightly. Same again. Another half a turn. Gosh, this is hard with the camera in front of you. There we go. Same again. That's nice and quiet now. Pretty much. A little tiny bit. So, quarter of a turn. And there we go. We can drop it down now from here as well. And it won't drop off. And there we have it. That's the gearing done. For brake levers, unfortunately, I haven't got any originals, so I've had to go with some repops from the delightful next day delivery people at Amazon. These are made by the well-known bike brand Up and Bike. They look okay there, they've got a nice shape. I think I could probably polish these levers up a little better as well. So once they're in place, we'll give them a little bit of a mirror finish. It'll be easier where I've got some purchase on the bike. So for the levers, get them to your desired location and tighten them up. In place, just going to thread through a nice stainless brake cable. I'm not going to say that these levers aren't of the best quality, but I think I might see where compromises have been made. But before I go any further with the cables, I'm going to line the brake pads up, because these are a little way off. With road brake levers and brake calipers, you know the drill. Line them up nice and level with the pad. Make sure they're nowhere near the tyre. You don't want one mullering a tyre at speed. Brake outer with a liner, so it's good quality. I'm going to measure it up. I'm going to go from the lever. It's going to be hidden inside, it's internally routed. I'm going to leave enough to go down to the brake. About there, that'll do fine. Plastic ends on. The material you use for your brake outer ends was of great debate in the shop. Popped in to see Jack and Dave the other day. I like the metal ends, I think they're quite nice. There's a bit of debate as to apparently they can get seized, etc., and that the plastic is the way to go. So for this build, we're going plastic. Purists may well be tutting and hissing at this point in time. Feed the cable down into the clamp on the brake caliper and pull it tight. And next thing we're going to do is just tape up the brake cable into the... Right, fresh tape in hand. Let's tape up this bad boy. Some people go absolutely mad with this tape. With just a brake cable to hide, there's really no need. I like to put these in place before I set the brake up, purely because sometimes they can just affect how things pull. Right, we're now in a position to pull everything through. I don't think this likes a plastic outer at that end, so I'm going to take it off. Okay. So, I think I'm about to be vindicated over my love of the metal brake outer, of the metal ends, because this wasn't sitting very well. Now let's try it with a metal end. Oh, would you look at that? Fits like a dream. So, do your barrel, then put the brake in tight. Tighten it up. Give it all a good pull on the brake lever. That's going to seat everything in. You can make adjustments as necessary. I think that's about right, to be honest. Feels good. Tighten that just a tiny turn there. Beautiful. So for the back, I'm going to need two pieces. First bit, I've just cut to size to go from the bar to the bike. Looking good. Now we're going to turn attention to the back. For this back one, gone for the metal end again for the caliper. I'm going to unscrew that just a little bit. Plastic end into the frame. Pull that through. Same again, we're going to put it tight, like a tiger. There we go. Pull it again. Let's see what we got. Oh, lovely. Just going to turn that down just a little bit on the barrel so that the feel is nice. Lovely. Right. Short bar tape and snip in some cables. This is complete. I am absolutely speechless with this one. It has turned out great and it is built up like an absolute dream. There has been no problems with building this bike. I think it looks like a true rapid racer one-off with that one-off paint job, the bronze wheels, everything just sets it off perfectly. I cannot wait to get out and ride this. As usual, you'll have to wait for another video for that one. I'm just going to let you enjoy it. Look at it. That's blooming awesome. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I hope your next ride is downhill with smooth tarmac. Keep your wheels spinning, keep your rubber on the road or your knobblies on the trail. Be safe out there, look out for one another. Remember the nod, cyclist to cyclist, look out for one another.
If you've enjoyed my videos, have a look at the back catalogue, and if you really want to, like and subscribe, hit the notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming builds or ride videos. But don't let any of that get in the way of you getting out and riding your bike, even though here in the UK, winter is rapidly approaching. Get out there, turn the cranks, roll the wheels. Until next time, thanks for watching.